If you're in the mood for some delicious, quick, and easy smoked salmon, this video's for you.
Welcome to Smokin' Ass Barbecue.
Seems like everyone has come to believe that smoking salmon has to involve preparing, brining, drying, and then smoking. A 2-day process at least. Well, we're going to dispel that myth and clear up a couple of others while we're at it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with brining your fish. I've done that many times before and it works just fine. But if you're like me, you don't always want to spend 48 hours preparing a meal. And you don't have to. Let's get started by talking a minute about salmon. There are many different kinds, but only 2 that are most available at your retail stores. There's wild caught, usually referred to as Alaska or sockeye salmon, and there's farm raised, usually referred to as Atlantic salmon. As you can see in the picture, the wild caught has a much deeper and brighter color. It's also a little harder to find and considerably more expensive. Quite often the farm raised salmon has color added, either through processing or feeding, so it appears more like the wild caught. Another important difference is farm raised salmon has considerably more fat content than wild salmon. This because the wild salmon, they spend their lives swimming and hunting, while farm raised salmon are much less active and are fed daily. This extra fat can make a big difference in how forgiving it is if slightly overcooked. But wild caught salmon is generally considered to be more flavorful and more desirable. As a general rule of thumb, farm raised salmon should be cooked about 10 degrees higher for the same doneness level as wild caught. Okay, enough of that for now. Let's get on with smoking some fish. I like to go ahead and get things set up so I don't have to keep stopping and washing my hands every time I need something. So I'm going to lay down some foil just to help keep the mess off the counter, then get my cutting board and throw some paper towels on top. As always, we'll start by washing our fish. Clean it good, but be gentle. The salmon flesh is a little delicate. While you're doing this, go ahead and carefully check for any bones, any loose scales, or that kind of thing. When done, just lay it over on your paper towel, skin side down. Now go ahead and pat the top down good with a few more paper towels. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry, just get any excess water off the top. I like to put a light coat of oil on top to seal in moisture and help the rub stick. Spray oil works great for this. Now you can go ahead and get rid of the paper towels. We're not going to put any seasoning on the skin side, but a good spray of oil will help keep it from sticking to our rack. If you noticed, I'm doing a smaller piece also. I'm going to use it to make smoked fish dip with. I plan to do another video on that, so keep an eye out. As you can see, the tail section on this large fillet is much thinner than the body section. That means, of course, it's going to get done a lot faster. So what I'm going to do is cut it off and cook it with the small piece and use it for the fish dip too. Okay, time to get some seasoning on these things. I'm going to make a very simple rub to use. I've got 3 tablespoons of turbinado sugar. You can use brown sugar if you want to. Then 1 tablespoon of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon, of course, black pepper. Mix it up real good. Those amounts are perfect for the amount of fish I'm doing. If you need more, just double it. You want to sprinkle the flesh side only real good. Remember, we didn't use a lot of salt in the mix, so you don't have to worry much about over-salting it. And there we go, all seasoned up and ready for the smoker. To make it easier to move the fish in and out of the smoker, as well as cut down on some cleanup, I'm going to put my fish on a rack inside a sheet pan. But first, I want to spray the racks really good with oil. Okay, now we'll just put our fish over on the racks. Since they're going to get done at different times, I'm putting the larger one over on one rack and putting the 2 smaller ones together on the other rack. Okay, let's go ahead and get our HoneyMaple glaze made. It doesn't matter what brand you use, but make sure you use 100% pure maple syrup. We're just going to use equal parts of honey and maple syrup, and that's all there is to it. For this cook, I'm using 4 tablespoons of honey and 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. That'll be plenty for the amount of fish I'm doing. And just mix it up real well. This can take a minute. There you go, done and done. Okay, we've got everything moved outside and ready to get it going. I've got the smoker preheated to 275 degrees. That's where we're going to go through the whole cook. I'm going to use apple wood today for our smoke. I think that'll pair real well with the salmon. It's getting a little breezy out here, so the video might be a bit rocky or whatever, but it's like the 8th of December, and it's 72 degrees. It's beautiful, sunny. The leaves are falling like crazy, but it's a gorgeous day, so we can't complain about that at all. All right, I'm going to get all this stuff in the smoker and get it going. All right. Get these things cooking. If I can keep the leaves off of everything. Okay. Get that one right in there. These right in here and get the leaves out. If you noticed, I put some damp paper towels underneath the racks. That's just to help keep them from sliding around so much. All right, let's get it closed up and let these little jewels start cooking. Not going to take a real long time for these to cook, and I don't want them to overcook. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and put my remote thermometer probe in here, just so we can kind of keep an eye on it from up at the house, and we'll know when to come back and check it. I've got the ThermoPro, the wireless unit that I can take up to the house with me and keep an eye on everything. Right now we're sitting about 52 degrees, so we got a little ways to go. But we can go up and relax now, chill out a bit, and keep an eye on things. I had a couple of people ask me why they never see smoke coming out of my smoker. The biggest reason is I usually do most of the videoing before I put the wood chips in or after things have cleared up some. I do that strictly just so the videos turn out better and a little more clear. But as you can see, there's the proof. It is puffing away. So we're going to go up, take a break, and keep an eye on things. We'll be back in a little bit to check on it. So I'm going to slide this one out and get a little bit of our HoneyMaple glaze on it. I'm probably going to do, well, at least 2, maybe 3 coats of the glaze. It can kind of thicken up and soak in, do whatever it's supposed to do. I think that's going to be so darn good. That's going to be some damn good. I don't generally like doing this kind of thing while the meat's in the smoker. It makes such a dang mess everywhere. But I've got so many leaves falling out here, I didn't really want to move it out onto the table. Okay, I'm going to get a plate and probably take that little small one on out, and we'll take a test bite of it. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, well, let's see how our little salmon is looking. Coming along nice. Got the boogers running there, and I'll explain that later. They're looking pretty darn good, to tell you the truth. I'm going to get a reading on these smaller ones while I'm in here. They're probably going to get done quite a bit faster. I want those to go a little bit higher in temp because I'm going to use them in the smoked fish dip. That small one there, it's at 148, so he could really come out with no problem. This one's at 130. I'm gonna let that one go a little bit longer. I want them just a little bit on the drier side for the fish dip, so they don't get all mushy and everything in there. Let's see how our big boy's doing here. 117 over there. 124 there. Let's see where. Yeah, there's our 126. Okay. All right, that's good. That's perfect. A big problem some people have with salmon is the white, gooey looking stuff that oozes out while you're cooking it. One of the big myths about salmon is that this is fat running out, and it's not at all fat. This is a protein called albumin. It's present in all meats, including humans. In its natural state, albumin is clear, but it develops its white color as it heats up. This happens around 140 degrees. And one of the most common forms of this protein is the clear liquid you see when you crack an egg open. When you cook an egg, the albumin changes color. This is what ends up as the egg white. Another big misleading statement that's often told by so-called experts is that since the albumin turns white around 140 degrees, it's a sure indicator that your salmon has reached an internal temperature of 140 degrees. Actually, the reason the albumin is turning white when it comes to the surface is because it's coming in contact with the air inside your smoker. The inside of your fish might still be well below done, but the hot air in the smoker causes the albumin to turn white as it comes out. Same way as it when your egg hits the frying pan. This myth has caused many backyard pitmasters to mistake their fish being done by judging its temperature on the albumin showing up. Okay, back to cooking. I can give us a little taste of what's going on there. He is good and done. We'll let that one go a little bit longer. He's pretty much done also, but we'll leave him in for the moment. Get this closed back up and we'll take us a sample taste here. Okay, as you can see, this one is looking quite nice. Let's just get a little bite here. Oh, hell yeah. Yep, that is good. And I didn't put any of the HoneyMaple glaze on these two smaller pieces because I don't want them over sweet for the fish dip. But I'm telling you right now, the rub that I put on with the brown sugar and salt and pepper, it is fantastic. It's super sweet. The moisture is perfect on that. It's just a really, really, really good bite of salmon right there. So I'm going to take this on in. I may just go ahead and finish eating it. But I'm going to take it on inside. We'll keep an eye on our temperature from in there. And we'll come back and baste that large one again here in just a few minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes or so since we put that first coat of glaze on. So I'm going to slide him out and do another little coat. Tell you what, if you don't think that's pretty right there, yeah, the wind is definitely picking up on me out here. But that's all right. That's all right. Could be a whole lot worse for the middle of December, I can tell you that. There's no place else I'd rather be right now than El Paso, Texas. Okay. Looking good, looking good. My little baby, looking good. All right. Got that one on. And we'll slide him back in. I'm going to check that other one. I want it fairly well done, but I don't want it crazy done. We'll just kind of take a peek while we're in here. Okay, that one is well done, which I figured it would be. We're sitting almost 150 on that one. I figured it was going to be up there, but I wanted it a little overdone because, like I say, I'm using it in that dip. So I wanted it just a tad higher than normal. Look at the juice on this thing. This is just really something. 143. We are done. We are done. All right, I'm going to get this out of here. No, that's hot. I'm going to get these out, take them inside, and let them rest for a minute. So I'll meet you inside. And there you have it. Fresh, delicious smoked salmon in no time at all. This entire cook from start to finish was under 2 hours. So y'all give this a try. I guarantee you'll like it.
Thanks for stopping by. See y'all soon.